For a while, we've all heard about the possibility of a Third World War breaking out in Europe after Russian troops were positioned within reach of Ukraine's borders. But Russia has repeatedly denied any plans of invasion and explained that the troops are only there for training drills. But what is actually going on? Will a war really break out? To know the answer of the question, we have to go on a little walk down memory lane to understand the history a little bit better. Let's just start with the facts. In the early 90s, the Soviet Union broke up, and Ukraine, which is a former Soviet republic, had the third largest atomic arsenal in the world. After a series of diplomatic agreements, Ukraine gave its hundreds of nuclear warheads back to Russia in exchange for security assurances that protected it from a potential Russian attack. However, in 2014, after Ukrainians overthrew their pro-Russian president,
Ukraine is in a state of crisis 2 days after the country's democratically elected president was ousted following months of street protests that left at least 82 people dead.
Russia invaded Ukraine and seized the Crimean Peninsula, which has a majority of Russians living there. Additionally, Russia also backed a rebellion led by pro-Russia separatists who captured large parts of eastern Ukraine. And ever since then, the rebels have fought the Ukrainian military in a conflict that has claimed over 14,000 lives, and Russia denies any accusations that it's part of the lingering conflict. Last year, President Vladimir Putin called Russians and Ukrainians one nation. He described the collapse of the Soviet Union in December 1991 as the disintegration of historical Russia, and considers Ukraine's current leaders as running an anti-Russian project. Right now, Russia does not want Ukraine to become part of the NATO alliance out of fear that NATO would help Ukraine recapture Crimea. Basically, Ukraine is strategically important because it's Russia's southwestern flank, and Russia fears it is assimilating into the West, and Putin objects to its growing closeness to NATO, as well as the developing links it has with the European Union. President Biden has threatened Russia's leader with measures like none he's ever seen before if Ukraine is attacked. The United States accused Russia of being responsible for cyber attacks in Ukraine, and they also threatened to make Russia an outcast if it decided to invade Ukraine.
We believe that the Russian government is responsible for wide-scale cyber attacks on Ukrainian banks this week.
If Russia invades Ukraine, it will become a pariah to the international community.
Ukraine, on the other hand, has asked the West not to spread panic and said that they are ready for Russia in case an invasion does happen. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry issued a statement saying that Ukraine has the strongest support from its global partners since its independence, especially in defensive weaponry. Ukraine is deeply unhappy as it feels it gave away too much to Russia and the separatists. However, like it or not, my beauty, you have to put up with it, were President Putin's words to Ukraine's leader. And with everything going on, many media outlets predicted specific dates for the invasion, such as February 16th and February 20th, which, as we all know, nothing happened yet, and the Russian invasion is yet to take place. And will it even take place? For example, the state-controlled media outlet RT has repeatedly used satire for the situation in an effort to convey that the country seriously has no plans to invade Ukraine. So this is basically it. If we go back to the first question I asked, will a war really break out? The answer so far remains unknown. But what do you think? What's your take on the issue? Tell us in the comments below.